Ready?
Hey everybody, welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
me, Banshee, and it's that exciting time. It's Super Bowl 2025.
You're half right. It's an exciting time for one of us.
And that's why I'm sparkling.
Indeed.
No, just a little bit.
Why am I sparkling and no, I'm on fire? Because I'm actually watching football.
Because whether you like it or not, it's contagious. There. All right. Well, welcome to our Super Bowl prediction, our annual one. This is our 6th one, right, Mr. O?
Right.
And we're still above 50-50, but we're getting to the borderline here, so we really want to pick the right team this year.
Who knows? Maybe 3 times the charm, or 2 times the charm, or something.
Or something like that. Kansas City versus Philadelphia Eagles. Oh my goodness, this is going to be quite the game. I'm so excited about this. I'll be watching the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle. All right, even though the Lions are not there. Anyway, next year, Kansas City or Philadelphia, next year. Anyway. All right, so this reading is one that I use for the Detroit Lions games with a little modification at the end. I'm not going to get into everything. We'll be examining offense versus defense for each side. And we'll be doing what the teams need to win. And finally, a wild card. So it's a 7-card reading. The wild card is kind of something that could happen that will be a major influence in the game. So that could be a major influence in the game. And then we'll sum it all up and we'll choose our winner. I'm going to let Mr. O shuffle and cut for me, please. There you go. And I have no stake, no gambles on this game. I recommend nobody gamble on my readings, please. This is mostly for fun and just to see if the tarot can predict the Super Bowl winner fairly accurately. We'll see what happens. I wish both teams the best of luck. I'm kind of rooting for the Philly team because they're on kind of our neck of the woods. All right. Okay, so we're going to have Kansas, Oh, by the way, yes, we're using the Tarot Decoratif by Cyril Marchetti. And I'll put that down there. We're going to have 2 rows of cards. The first row will be for Kansas City. The second row will be for the Eagles. And we'll take it from there. The first line is going to be the Kansas City offense versus the Philadelphia Eagles defense. And our first card is...
What is that?
Well, yes, thanks for asking. It is the Cavalier of Pentacles.
So is that a knight?
Of coins. That is the knight.
Lower
it. Thank you. That is the knight. No, move it over because we're going to need some space here. The Knight of Pentacles upright.
The offense.
That's the offense. The defense, whoa. The defense is the Death card. Holy moly. These are 2 powerhouse cards, okay? I mean, especially the Death card. We'll get to that.
Well, it sounds like it's all about management when it comes to their offensive strategies.
Maybe. I think the Knight here sort of indicates to me that KC...
Oh, you're right. It's the Knight.
Yeah. KC will have to take slow and steady progress, their offense. I think they're best served by that. So this might indicate to me there might be more, well, it might indicate to me, especially since this is an earth element, that this might be a ground game that they're playing. It'll be more runner game, and it might be slow, steady, getting those first downs, knocking them out, and moving towards the goal line. That's
With that sense of the knight always sort of following a well-trod path or a path they're familiar with. This may be saying too is they're going to go with strategies or routines that they know have worked in the past. They're going to try to work with what they think will work best.
They're definitely going to go with what they know and what they do well. I agree with that. I like that analogy. And just the idea that it seems like it'll be slow, but it will be progress they make.
On the other hand, what's
going on here with the Eagles? Death is an interesting card, and it is upright. And what I think it's saying here is that, well, I could think of two things: that they may have to change up their strategy radically to handle the offensive strategy, or this could indicate that. I had another thought here. I lost it.
Well, from a defensive point of view, it's sort of like saying they really come back from behind at some point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a rebirth, right?
Oh, it's rebirth. Yes. Okay.
So coming back from when it looked like they weren't going to be able to come back.
I would say that maybe what that indicates, as far as team play goes, is that they need to change up their strategy, and it could inspire a rebirth. It'll get the defense on track. They'll have to change things up from time to time, and then they'll get on track, because that is about rebirth. I also feel here that maybe this means that they won't be able to manage them. They will be able to hold them. Maybe they're holding them more to the ground game than the passing game, because the passing game, would be, I can almost see that. Because again, this is the earth thing. So maybe that's why this is here. They're holding them to the earth. And after all, where do we all go before we are reborn? To the earth. And so for some reason, I'm feeling a connection here. It's a little obtuse, and we're going to go back and explore this a little bit further. Because right now, I think we want to see what the Kansas City defense is up to. It's Judgment. Now they have the Major Arcana card. Let's get that right. There we go.
So from a defensive point of view, maybe they're going to really try something very different.
Well, but isn't that about rebirth as well?
In a way.
It's kind of ironic here, because it is, or it's about shaking things up. But let's see why. Let's put them both out first before we really get into this. Oh my gosh.
What is it?
Well, it's the Tower.
Upright.
Upright. I'm not happy to see that here. It's really unfortunate for the Eagles offense. Sorry, this has come up. Because it basically means a crisis of some sort. I'm hoping there's not going to be a major injury on offense that's going to affect the team. I can seriously see that with this card. There's a breakdown foundationally in what's going on here. And I feel here the offense may have trouble unless, but the only thing is the one saving grace here is that they may learn from their mistakes as they go. If they do that and they keep pace, if they're able to keep pace with whatever, the defense maybe being able to hold them down a little bit, it may help.
Yes, I was thinking something like that too, what you just said there. And so that depends on the timing of when things seem to present this opportunity for that tower moment for them to realize they've been played or whatever, and that they should, learn a new lesson or realize what the lesson they should do. So yes, if that happens in appropriate time, they might be able to turn it around. It is also interesting to see that, of course, their offensive and defensive things sort of have a little bit of symmetry going on there, and so maybe one influences the other too. More likely the tower influencing their defensive play to be more of that, coming back from behind, as I said, or just sort of charging out from seemingly gone.
It's such a thematic and dramatic thing, having three major arcana in this reading already, Mr. O. It was kind of surprising me for a Super Bowl reading. But, hey, they're the top teams, and so this is kind of epic. And that's what the major arcana cards are. They are epic. So, wow. I would say with Judgment here, let's get a little bit more into that because we didn't talk about it too much. I think with the Kansas City, God, I'm trying to think here, offense, they are going to be doing, did I get that right? No, this was their offense, right, versus their defense. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, this is Kansas City's defense. Sorry. Kansas City's defense, is going to have to do similar to what the offense is doing. They're going to have to revise themselves. You know what? I also think too, this is a call to bring something out in them. They're going to have to really dig deep in this, to really tackle, the Eagles, defense. Am I getting this right? Offense. But the problem is the Eagles' offense seems to not be having a good game either. So I'm saying here they really are going to draw deep into themselves to maybe cause this crisis.
That's an interesting theory.
And so the crisis could be a number of things. Number one, forced penalties, turnovers, forced penalties, turnovers, things like that. Missed opportunities, perhaps, for the offense, things like that. What else do you want to say on that one?
Well, it's hard for me to take the energies of those cards and apply them to football.
It is a little tough.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could do it well.
Well, let's move on and see what the final results. This is not the final results. This is what does it really take for Kansas City to defeat the Eagles? Well, it's the Queen of Coins reversed. There's some Pentacle action here. So the Queen of Coins is reversed. There we go. That's better. Thank you. The Queen of Coins. I think and then let's throw the other one out there, both reversed. So it is kind of giving admonitions of what they're going to need here. This is the Page of Swords reversed. So, thoughts on that? What do they need? I think that Kansas City is going to need to be more physical. I think they're going to have to be more physical, and really work hard on using their strength, maybe using their speed, maybe using their agility, excuse me, to their advantage, to win this game.
Well, there's always the possibility that, things happen that cause maybe minor issues, some amount of working through pain or situations if there's injuries. The Queen of Coins could be talking about that too, taking the time to check and make sure, you are able. But this could indicate that maybe there's going to be some general fatigue issues or physicality issues.
Apparently with this, with the Eagles, the problem I'm seeing here is communication. They're going to have to watch how they communicate. that make sure everybody understands what they need to do. Strategy is really going to be important here. There's going to be no way to shortcut things. No I don't want to say no sneaky maneuvers will work, but what I want to say is trickery might not work well in this game either. It seems like it could be ferreted out. So, I mean, you're just going to have to play good, hard football here, and your coaches are going to have to be on point with strategy, because it looks as though, as a matter of fact, I think what I want to do after you're done talking about this one is go down the rows to get, individually here and talk about these cards.
Well, the only thing I think about that card there is that maybe the Eagles need to watch where they're clumsy or awkward, watch where maybe they're not quite communicating, and realizing that, there's just a certain way to proceed. Nobody ever thinks of football as being a study and dance, but
yes it is.
Okay.
Oh yes it is.
Well, I don't.
Oh my goodness, you've missed the acrobatics of Amon-Ra St. Brown and different players on the Lions this year, I see. But I understand. So, the thing is that, yes, I think that grace and movement and how they can maneuver around the other team is going to be very important too. And, if they're not doing it well, it's going to really hurt them this time. There's no room for error here. And I sense some of this could be the problem. They just can't do it. And it just seems like there's some serious issues here. Before we get to it, though, I realize we should put the wild card down first. Let's do that. I'm all over the place today because I've had a bad cold, so I do apologize for that.
Eight of Swords.
Yeah, our wild card is really interesting here.
There's something wild there.
The Eight of Swords, but thank goodness, do you realize that is our first numbered minor arcana card in this reading?
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah, I mean, we've had more, and those are the cards I like to look towards for the football stuff. So it's really odd the way this reading.
So the wild card acts like maybe somebody's going to do a feint of some sort and try to use an illusion of being contained or not able to project. Will that be the Eagles or will that be the Chiefs?
Well, I feel here the wild card is very interesting because what could tip the game one way or another is who can make the other one feel boxed in. Who can make the other one feel like they can't, and that they can't get out. That they can't move to that goal line, get past that goal line. The team that is better at containing, and I feel this way, containing the the offense of the other team. I mean, things might happen. I sense here there's going to be some turnovers in this game because of some of the stuff I'm seeing here. But the one that contained the other team the most is going to be obviously the winner, and it's going to be pretty obvious as far as that goes. Well, some of this seems fairly pedestrian. I mean this is what happens with teams. That's why one wins, one loses. Let's see if we can break it down a little further here. And I just want to explore the Kansas City Chiefs a minute in detail. So the Kansas City's offense is going to be making slow and steady progress throughout this game. They're going to be taking their time and using the clock well and making, and scoring some points. That's what it looks like because the Knight of Pentacles is all about, right? Gain.
Right.
Progress.
It's incremental, but it's forward all the time.
And then here with their defense, on the other hand, the defense, I don't feel this is a bad card at all for them, obviously. It's not like what the Eagles had, but the defense is going to have to keep drawing deep in themselves to make sure that they're doing everything they can to hold back the Eagles.
I look at that as looking for inspiration.
I look at that too as also just being able to maybe, if they do lose the lead at some point, let's say the lead flip-flops a little bit back and forth, that they're the ones that are always coming back and resurrecting themselves. That's sort of what I'm seeing here with this card. And then finally, with what they need to win, it should be pretty clear that they need to be really physical. I mean, they can't be weak here. If the Queen of Pentacles reversed, she might not be in the best physical or mental state. And so I feel here that that could be key. That could be a problem.
It may be that they have to really keep in check with themselves and as a team to make sure everybody's feeling the morale boost, etc. Maybe with other things going on in the game, there might be some frittering.
I'm sensing this could be a run game on their part more than a passing game, or that they will be more successful with that. And you remember, we've tried to keep ourselves totally out of the loop with how these teams operate, so I haven't been watching
It's interesting to note that we have the matched King and Queen of Pentacles, but they're sort of in opposition to each other. The Knight. Well, okay.
Yeah.
And the Judgment in between them. Yeah. It almost does seem to add more weight to them as a victory.
It does, really. And so let's go to here and look at the Eagles again and what they are up against. Death is not a horrible thing, but Death is saying for their defense, they're going to have to really change things up a bit. They're really going to have to try to throw Kansas City off their game by shaking up their strategy a bit. Keeping, if they want slow and steady progress, these guys have to ensure that they don't make it easy for them to do that. And so they may have to shake things up in order to make that happen.
The defense looks like it's ready to kind of throw new ideas out there, like just sort of have a game-changing moment here or there.
Okay. And so with the
their
poor, and I know that they have a great quarterback. I think here that there may be some issues. There just either is going to be some unexpected crises that come up, which to me and that's the Tower card, could indicate fumbles, could indicate turnovers, where interceptions. It could indicate injuries, the potential that some key players get taken out, and they have to shake things up. Their foundation may not be able to withstand this, but they will learn a lot. And hopefully what this is saying is that the offense will learn as they go.
I like what you said there. The offense sort of has a core protocol or parameter around it that maybe is going to feel like it's crumbling or falling, but within that there is this opportunity to realize what maybe they can still change if that's possible.
And finally, when I look at this card here, it's all about, being able to outmaneuver the other strategically and, players interacting and outmaneuvering. The offense being able to outmaneuver a defense that seems ready to give it their all. And, for the Eagles defense to be able to, pivot at a moment's notice to be able to stop, a passing game or to stifle the ground game. But this is a real learning experience card, and here's a crisis, and it's kind of like like I'm hearing a warning siren going off in my head for the Eagles offense. I'm concerned about that. And so again, like I said, coaching strategy is going to be incredibly important here. And hey, the Eagles coach, you got them to the Super Bowl. They're not there for, they're there for a good reason. They're a top team. But Andy Reid, he is a great coach as well, and that's what you're up against here, your strategy versus Andy Reid's. So, finally, the wild card. The wild card, again, just indicates to me that the person who is best able to contain the others, the other team, and I guess I'll go beyond offense here, because I see this potential for interceptions here, that Kansas City could take advantage of that. The other thing might be penalties, but for some reason, I'm not seeing it it could be with the Eagles, but I'm not seeing it so much here because I feel that it's other things. It's surprising occurrences that come up. And to me, it would seem like, unless it's bad calls, which the only thing I've ever heard is that there's this favoritism towards Kansas City with some of the refs. Now, to me, whether that's true or not, I'm not sure, but I'm not going to call it for that. I'm going to call it other things like mishaps.
And I'm mostly seeing that it really still looks like it could be a toss-up.
No.
Well, that's me in football.
All right, so you don't want to claim a winner this time?
I don't know. I think I'm leaning more towards the Chiefs.
I'm leaning more towards the Chiefs, unfortunately. And if I have to say why, it's because the fact that they make slow and steady progress. They are giving it their all on defense, and they feel like they were born ready for this, right? They're ready for this game. Their only thing is, though, that they've got to be really, in their physical game. And the Eagles just have too many stumbling blocks here. I feel that death is a power card, but it depends. It depends. Are they changing things up because they can't seem to stop this slow and steady progress? Will it be enough? I'm not so sure. And especially with the tower here, I think some major mishaps may happen on offense that could cause problems that make them lose the game. And let's just say this. I'm going to think of a score here. I don't want to say it's a blowout. I don't want to say that. But I don't think it might be super close. I think that the Chiefs could win this by 10 points. And so I'm going to give the window of 7 to 10 points to the Chiefs.
And I wouldn't know how to do that.
Well, I'm not great at the numbers game, although I have to say, I got a number of Lions things accurate there. It's just a feeling of the slow and steady progress. Also, I want to say that I think that, they may score on their first possession of the ball, the offense, or not. But I think that, they will make slow and steady progress. My guess is maybe a field goal or a touchdown on their first drive. And it just seems like they won't be scoring every drive back and forth, but I think it will be a little bit back and forth as the game progresses. I don't know. That's what I see. I was rooting for the Eagles, and I still will be. But we're going to give it to the Chiefs again, and we'll see what happens. Good luck to the Chiefs. Good luck to the Eagles. Prove us wrong. I don't want to be 50-50, but I'll accept it.
There's always next year.
There's always next year to get back on track. All right, everybody. Sorry for some of the confusion in the beginning and stuff. Like I said, I'm very stuffed up. I still have a bit of a virus. But I hope you enjoyed this reading. And go both teams. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.